The memory of her leaving still cuts through me like a blade. There were no explosive arguments, no desperate pleas to stay. Just silence, sharp and clean, the kind that leaves a wound because it offers no closure. She looked me in the eyes and said, "I found my path with him now.
I'm sorry.
It's over." At first, I thought I'd misheard. It felt like some twisted joke. But it wasn't. The moment she turned and walked away, something inside me shattered. There were no explanations, no parting words, just her fading figure moving further and further away, without once turning back. I stood there frozen,
Shocked.
heartbroken, alone. I never saw it coming. Sure, we'd faced tough times, but I always believed we were still building something meaningful, something worth fighting for. But in one breath, in one quiet moment, it all unraveled. She hadn't just left me. She had chosen someone else. And I was left standing in the ruins of everything we'd built, grasping at pieces, wondering where it all went wrong, wondering if any of my mistakes had really mattered in the end. Those first few weeks were agony. I kept going in circles, torturing myself with the same questions. Could I have stopped it? Was I too buried in my work? Too distant? Why him? Why not me? What did he give her that I couldn't? Why did he become her future, and I became her past? Over time, the raw pain dulled into a quiet numbness. I forced myself to keep going. I went back to work, tried reaching out to friends, filled my hours with anything that could keep me from thinking about her. But the silence between us? It was louder than ever. Still, I knew she had made her choice. She had moved on, and I had to try to do the same. Days blurred into weeks. Weeks stretched into months. And slowly, I started piecing myself back together. Bit by bit, I began to feel whole again. Not the same man she'd left behind, but someone stronger.
Someone changed.
For a time, I convinced myself that solitude was better, that maybe I was meant to be alone. But in quiet moments, when the world slowed down, she was still there, her memory echoing in my mind. I wanted to hate her. I wanted to burn with rage. But all I felt was emptiness. A year passed, and the sharp edges of her absence began to soften. She no longer haunted my every thought. I thought I was healing. I thought I was okay. Until that knock. It came out of nowhere, soft, uncertain. It stopped me in my tracks. I wasn't expecting anyone. At first, I thought I imagined it. But then it came again. A hesitant tap. Gentle, yet heavy with something unspoken. My heart pounded before I even reached the door. Somehow, I already knew. And there she was. Tears streaking down her face. Eyes red and swollen. Hair a mess, like sleep had been avoiding her for days. Can I come in?" she asked, voice trembling. She sounded scared, like she thought I'd slammed the door in her face. And I should have. I had every reason to, but I didn't. Something in me still wanted answers. Still needed to understand why she stood in front of me now, when a year ago, she'd vanished without a fight. I stepped aside. She walked in, sat on the couch. A stranger. And yet so painfully familiar. Silence settled like a storm cloud. Neither of us knew where to begin. How do you speak to the person who broke your heart? Who now sits before you, shattered? "I've thought of you every day," she finally said, voice barely a whisper. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but please, just let me say this." She took a shaky breath. "I made a mistake. A huge one. I thought I was doing the right thing when I left, but I wasn't. I see that now. The guilt is unbearable." I stayed quiet, listening, trying not to drown in the wave of emotions crashing inside me. "I thought I loved him," she continued, her voice cracking. "But I didn't. I was just running from myself, from us. I thought someone else could make me happy. But I was lying to myself." She wiped at her eyes, hands shaking. "I miss you. I miss what we had." Her words hung heavy in the air, pulling at something deep within me. Anger.
Confusion.
A sliver of hope I didn't want to acknowledge. "You left," I finally said, my voice low but firm. "You didn't even try. You just chose him." She winced, as if each word cut her. "I know," she whispered, "and I'll never forgive myself for it. I can't undo it, but I've realized what really matters."
And it was you. It was always you.
I wanted to believe her.
I truly did.
But I wasn't that same broken man anymore. The one she left had changed.
Grown.
We couldn't just pick up the pieces and pretend the cracks weren't still there. "I'm sorry," I said softly, "but I don't know if I can trust you again. You made your choice, and I had to live with it." She nodded slowly. No more words, just tears. And I could see it, she finally understood. "I hope you find what you're looking for," I said, standing. "I really do. I hope you find peace, happiness." She rose quietly, wiped her eyes, and walked to the door. This time, as I watched her leave, it wasn't with sorrow. It was peace. Letting go is never easy. But in that moment, I knew I had chosen myself. And for the first time in a long time, that was enough.